Hi, what's your name?
I'm Yvonne Arena.
Yvonne, good to know you.
Nice to meet you, Chris.
Why don't we start off and give me a little background. Tell me about yourself.
Well, I was born in Baltimore, Maryland, in a very eclectic household. My mother was born in Germany, but she grew up in Bangkok, Thailand.
Wow.
And my father was a captain in the Merchant Marines, and he sailed all over the world. So in our house, we had a lot of Asian and African art. We really were global, diverse before it was really a thing to be that way. It was, it was unusual upbringing.
Yeah.
We were surrounded by many international people.
Yeah.
Those were all of our friends, very diverse mix.
Yeah.
And
I bet you heard some great stories from your dad about his trips around the world.
yes,
Yeah.
but I can't repeat them to you.
Okay. All right.
But in that environment, one of the things what my selection of college was to go to Georgia Tech, because they had a exchange program with the École des Beaux-Arts in Paris, France.
Okay.
And I took that opportunity while I was studying in the College of Architecture and lived in Paris.
Uh-huh. Well, now you said that kind of fast in French, and even though I speak French, that's actually the School of Fine Arts.
Yes,
right,
it is.
In Paris.
It
Okay.
is.
The École des Beaux-Arts. Okay.
It is.
Very good, and that was a great experience.
It was fantastic,
Yeah.
and it afforded me the opportunity to travel throughout Europe. And I just had that yen traveling, and
Sure.
in my life I've traveled many places throughout the world, and most recently I had the opportunity to work in China. So,
Wow.
my background and my international upbringing really allowed me to interface well with people of all different types who were working on that project.
Well, if I ask you what has distinguished you in your field, what's most really set you apart?
Well, Chris, when I started out of college, I worked for architectural firms.
Mm-hmm.
And in the architectural firms, I worked on a vast amount of different types of building projects, from small additions to really large high-rise projects.
Mm-hmm.
And what I found working as an architect is that there were many different clients and many different building types, but the thing that stayed the same was the process. And I became an expert in the process of design, managing the team of consultants, managing the owner and the end user, which sometimes were not the same thing. And then in the second part of my career, I actually worked on the other side of the table for the owner, working for developers. I started with a company that had one facility, and they were looking to expand their product nationwide. And these were campuses of continuing care retirement communities. And when I say campus, let me explain to you what I mean by that. It's like a small village. And in that village you have residences, you have retail, education, culture, you have amenities, landscape amenities and physical amenities, and then
a whole environment.
A whole environment.
Yeah, very good.
So that really gave me an opportunity to look at their one facility, break it down to components, interview the end users who were both the people living there and the people that were operating it, and created a kit of parts. And when I left that company, there were 15 facilities throughout the nation with 2 to 3 in the pipeline.
Yeah.
And another story from that is, again, it's different people in the development process. You will take a piece of raw land. I've worked on parcels as large as 150 acres, billions of dollars of construction costs, and taking it to a community where they're not so sure they want your product in their community. And you're working with the regulators, you're working with attorneys, you're working with community groups. How are all of these different types of people with different agendas going to approve your project? And I think that my personality, and again going back to being in a very eclectic background, I'm able to relate to people on a one-on-one and build consensus.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, at this point, Yvonne, what's next? What do you want to do?
Well, Chris, I create a positive team, and I'm always building relationships. That is really what I'm about. I like to maximize the potential of any physical building project that I'm working on. And I'm looking not just at a developer, anybody who has multiple buildings in their corporation. Let me help you with your physical environment and grow your company to its potential.
Very good. Well, Yvonne, I appreciate you spending some time with me.
Well, thank you, Chris.
Okay, thanks a lot.